Today's overlooked stock is an underappreciated, underdiscussed, perhaps, definitely underdiscussed, possibly underappreciated data center play. George Tsilis joins us. Take a look at Rubrik, a cyber business for a lot of these big build-outs. So, George, a security play. I misspoke in the tease, by the way. I was thinking about MicroStrategy for the next block. All right, George, so tell me what they do.
Well, yeah, actually, this is an interesting company considering the environment we're in. You're right, it is a data warehousing backup planning company. In other words, they deal with major data warehouses and some of the major hyperscalers. We know that CrowdStrike and Microsoft had the snafu earlier this year, which again was a kind of a disaster for lack of a better word for many companies. But nonetheless, this is a backup planning and resiliency and contingency planning company that helps facilitate, cyber attacks, or not necessarily facilitate, but deal with the results of things like cyber attacks. And they do a lot of contingency planning, and they provide warehousing data solutions for major customers, which include partners like Microsoft. They also have a partnership now with CrowdStrike, so I think that's one of the catalysts associated with the move we've actually seen in this particular name since September. But also other names like Salesforce.com is a partner with Rubrik. The stock, if you look at it, actually IPO'd back in April, and since September, post the lockup period, which is 180 days on typical timelines, the stock has actually gone up about 66%. And I think this is really an interesting name considering what they do. Obviously, the environment for data backup and warehousing of data, and of course, a contingency planning for just-in-case situations like a down or a cyber attack or a down network that we actually saw with the issue with CrowdStrike and Microsoft. Irrespective of that, of their business and the value proposition they provide, the company's actually been generating revenue that's in the 30+% range year over year, an average recurring revenue, which gives you a little bit more of a typical barometer of growth of revenue on a forward basis, is growing faster than trailing revenues at around 40%. So you got revenue that's growing 30%, average recurring revenue is growing about 40%. And overall, this is a name that seems to be gaining a lot of traction from a large customer base because, more and more data obviously is in great demand. The warehousing of the data, plus this company doesn't compete directly with cybersecurity risks that a lot of companies face, for instance, like Palo Alto or Zscaler. This is a company that essentially deals with contingency planning just in case there is a cyber attack, a loss of data, and a loss of overall networks.
Yeah, all right. It sounds like a good one to kind of slide into the cyber discussion that we should be more aware of, because it feels like that oftentimes gets basically split between like Palo Alto and CrowdStrike, but obviously there's a massive market of growth here, so companies like Rubrik seem like they could fit right in. Thanks, George.